Smai pawb, sut a'ch chi? Hello everyone, how are we all? Well, I'm back with another video, and this time I've been playing around with the Thoughtful Moments hybrid embossing folder and the matching dies that come with it, so you can die cut the words. Now, I showed you in my last video these that I bought with a few other bits and pieces a little while ago, and said I'd try and have a play with some of them. Well, this is what I've had a play with so far. So these are the cards I've made. I'm going to make another one for you in a minute using a different colour. So this one I actually used with a background that I've had stamped for ages that I've been waiting to do something with, which is using the Very Versailles stamp set, which is has been retired for quite a while now, I think. But I just put it on the soft seafoam card and put the thank you on dimensionals. I used the mini dimensionals for that. This one using the bubble bath card and just the hello and the Flight and Airy paper, which you can't get anymore because that was only with Celebration. Another one with the boho blue. I cut out, I punched out the hexagon label and just put the thank you on top. And I also used this edge, what's it called? It's Elegant Borders dies. I've had them for ages and not actually used them, so I thought, oh yes, I'll use that one. There's 4 dies in the set. I can show you what they look like in a minute because I thought, oh, I'll cut the other ones out. So that was those. And then this one, which I shall be giving you a little tip as to how to get this ribbon just so later on. And that was that. So this is the actual embossing folder. You see, and normally embossing folders are used to do a whole background. This one doesn't really fit that criteria because it's got so many different things on it. It's got thank you, oh happy day, thinking of you, love you, hello, with sympathy, you make me happy, get well, celebrate, and just because. And those don't really gel together as a background for something, particularly with sympathy right in the middle there. Well, I suppose you could if you wanted to, but you can, because you don't have to emboss the whole thing. You could just cut out a piece of card that was big enough for the hello or the love you or thinking of you, whichever one you want. So that's the embossing folder, but if you use it together with the die, which fits snugly there over everything, it actually cuts everything out for you, which is great. It does take a bit of fiddling before you can get the right, because you have to get the right combination with your die cutting machine, whatever one you've got. They can vary, so it took me 5 attempts to get them perfect. The first lot I did was just with paper, and I have to say it was a bit disappointing. They're not terribly, they're not very well defined. But I thought, well, it's only done with paper, so yeah, that's probably right, and I probably need to add something extra into it. But what I did with the background for the hello on this card was I used it underneath the green one to make it look as though it got a shadow. I thought that's quite handy, so if I got some that I wasn't very happy with, I could use them for something like that. So that was the first one, and then I did them in, couldn't tell you exactly which colours I did first, but I did them using boho blue card with Azure Afternoon ink, bubble bath with berry burst, and soft seafoam with shaded spruce. And as I said, the first few didn't come out terribly well, as you can see from these ones, because I did them all on my, I've got two die cutting machines. I've got an A4 Sizzix Big Shot and I've got a regular Sizzix Big Shot, and I did all these on my A4 one, which I think was too big and I hadn't got enough pressure to get it in the right place, so these didn't come out very well at all, and that hasn't punched out properly at the end. That one didn't punch out and I ripped it. That one hasn't punched out properly, and those two are very iffy. And this one would have been alright if I'd have managed to get the ink all the way across, but as it is, I've only got it on the cos, so those ones I shall probably bin. So what I'm going to do for you now is to make, or to cut out some more. Let me just move all my bits off out of the way. I'm going to do another one using Highland Heather cardstock and Gorgeous Grape ink. Now, there are various ways you can do this. You can do this with a brayer, if you've got a brayer. That's one of those rolly things if you don't know what a brayer is. I don't have a brayer. You could, again, as I said before, because you don't have to do the whole lot, if you just want to do one, you could just use a dauber or a piece of sponge with some ink on it. But I'm going to use the ink pad to ink it up. So that's what gets you that looking like that, so that you can see that it's been outlined. If you just embossed it without inking it up, you would get these. This one I did in my standard size Big Shot. It's not showing, it doesn't want to show you very well, but they are very nicely embossed. And again, as I said, you can just use what you want to if you just want to do one or two of them, but I'm going to do the whole lot. So I need to make a little bit of space because I'm going to have to get my Sizzix machine up on the desk. So let me clear that out of the way. So I'm going to put that there. So with this is one of those ones that's got the main body and then you've got two tabs, but you want to use the first tab and the main bit. So this bit, because it's attached at this end, which is slightly annoying, I have to slide that through and just sort of perch it up on there. Then I also have put another piece of card, or yeah, it's card, thick paper, just there, and then I will use my number 4 specialty plate. So the first thing we need to do, now am I in shot? Let me put it that way round and it will definitely be in shot. I'll have to turn it around the other way in a minute. Okay, so I'm just going to literally ink and make sure that I get the ink everywhere. Now it doesn't matter so much that the ink is going on to the flat bits, because I'm going to put the die on top of it before the card goes on. So the ink will actually transfer to the die, but that doesn't matter because it all washes off. You do need to have access to a sink. Come on, in you get. There you go. So that's slotted down now and won't move. And I've cut my piece of card, so I want to put it the right way down. And don't put it all the way to the end. There's a little line down here, so you can match your card up with the line. Then fold that over. So as you can see, it looks an absolute mess. I'm just going to turn this sideways and I'll have to stand up to do this. So there's my extra piece of card, embossing folder with the dies in. and my number 4 3D embossing plate. Right, now this is quite stiff. Oh, bear with me. Why is it taking? Oh, I can see. I think it's because. Oh, now I'm gonna have to come back because I have put it too close to this edge. Right, let's move it a bit. I put it too close to one of the edges so that it wouldn't go anywhere because it wasn't straight. Okay, let's try again. See, I make these mistakes so you don't have to. That's better. I knew it was a bit stiff, but it wasn't as stiff as that before. There we go. Whew. Right, so slide my plate out, slide that out. Stick those on the floor. Oh. Right, so there we go. We have got a bit of ink on the card, but it doesn't matter because it has cut out all the words. Ha ha! Da 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 da! It's like magic. Oh, I've got a bit of a blotch on the hello, but that doesn't matter too much. Here's my pokey tool. There we go. Thinking of you, happy day. No. Right. Now, I'm just going to pause you there because I'm going to go and run these under the tap because I don't want them to stain. I don't think they will, but I'm just going to do that. So, back in a... Right, I'm back, and as you can see, they're all lovely and clean. There's no staining at all on there, and I can put those away. So, that's the embossing folder. And with embossing folders, it's always important to put the folded edge through whichever way you're doing it first, because if you try and put it that way through first, you might get an air pocket in there, and then at some point that's going to do something nasty to the folded edge. So always put the folded edge through first. So let me put that in there. Let me put that in there. And the other thing I need to do is to buy some more magnetic sheets, because normally with my dies I take them off the sheets that they come on. Oh yes, this is the sheet that the Thoughtful Moments dies comes on, and it also comes with these few extra bits. So there's some stars, a couple of rainbows, hearts. I think these are supposed to be clouds, some flowers and some leaves, and they always come with this sticky stuff. And I tell you what, I don't know what sticky stuff they use at Stampin' Up, but it's blooming good stuff, because getting dies off sometimes is an absolute nightmare. So what I normally do with my dies is I take them off that and then I put them onto a magnetic sheet cut to size, and then they're just so much easier to take off and put back on again. Whereas sometimes you can actually damage the dies trying to get them off that tape. So that's what I need to do, because quite a lot of my dies are still waiting to be put onto sheets. So I will put that there, I will put that there, put those over there, sort those out later. And I must sort them out because at the moment there's a pile of things over there. Right, I can put my pokey tool back. And now I can choose a couple of these. I think I'm going to go with the thank you, thinking of you. And I get well. Maybe a celebrate. Maybe I will use the hello, even though it's a bit blotchy. So what I'm going to do with these is, I thought it's about time I actually used some of my perennial lavender designer paper that I've had for some time now. So I've already cut these bases out to the size. So I've cut 3 out landscape and 2 portrait, and then with the leftover bits I cut out these banners. So that's the back of this paper. I thought that would just give a nice little contrast really and not make it too samey. And I'm also going to use some ribbon. Now this, I'm not sure if this one is still, I don't think it is. I don't think it's still in the catalogue. This one I don't think is a Stampin' Up one at all. And this one I'm not sure if it's still in the catalogue or not, to be honest. But I thought I'd use a bit of ribbon and some of these, and I need my very small, my mini dimensionals. Okay, so shall I start with the ribbon trick? Yes, I will. I'll start with the ribbon trick because that's what I want to do. I want to do ribbon. So if I do one of each at the moment, I'll just put those to one side. Then, oh, where have I put it? Oh, there it is. Using my crocodile, you could use any sort of hole punch that's going to be long enough. To be fair, this one really isn't quite long enough because I'd intended to use it that way and the hole doesn't go, it's not long enough there. Oops, it's not long enough there. But if I do it this way, then yeah, it's probably okay. Now, do I want the bigger hole? I might go for the bigger hole. See how that goes. I used the smaller hole when I did my test one. So I'm punching a hole there. And then I'm getting my bit of ribbon. Now oh no, that's the wrong ones, that's the landscape ones, these are the portrait ones. I've done it about 4 times the width of the DSP. This is, when I've done the ribbon, then this is going to be glued down onto a card blank, like so. So what you do is you get your ribbon, and I'll put a link in the description box as to where I got this from, and I asked the lady if I could use this tip on my blog and my YouTube, and she said yes, that's fine. Right, so you put the ribbon through the hole from the front to the back and pull it through till you've got a tail of whatever length it is you want. Right, now wrap the ribbon around. This is where it gets most fiddly, because you've then got to push the ribbon through the same hole from the back to the front. So yes, there we go. So let's just pull that around again. I've probably got far too much. Yeah, I have got far too much. Far too much ribbon, but it doesn't matter. So yes, you can see me. You need to have, when you've pulled the ribbon through, you need to have one bit above and one bit below. And pull it as snug as you can, but not so snug that it curls the paper up. And then you can either do a proper bow, or, as I did in this one, just do a little knot. But I'm going to have a go at doing a proper bow, seeing as I seem to have so much ribbon left over. Now, bow tying is one of those things that you can do quite happily until you're on camera, and then it all goes peak-tong. Oh no, here we go, that's not too bad. And then obviously you can just adjust the length of the ribbon. There we go. Oh, I'm quite pleased with that. So that's a nice little ribbon, and I'll just cut the ends So they've got a nice point to them and they're not too long. And yes, I definitely had put too much ribbon. Do it that way. Do it that way. There we go. So that's that bit. So that's the simple bit done. Just tighten that a little bit, I think. There we go. And now that's not going to move about anywhere because it's nice and snug because you've punched it through the hole. I saw it and I thought, oh, what a brilliant idea. Why have I not thought of that? So let's get that onto a card front, and I will burnish it before I start because I keep forgetting to do that. And it's not easy once you've got stuff that's on dimensionals. Right, I'm going to use some of my double-sided tape so I can find the end. That's the bit that takes the longest, is finding the end of the double-sided tape. Okay, so let's go down here. I've got some tear and tape somewhere, but I think I've put it somewhere safe. You know what that's like. Okay. Give that a good press down. Then peel the backing off. If it wants to come, yes it does. And then, I'm sure I've told you this before and you're probably fed up with me telling you, I put the ends in a glass jar because these are quite static, these red bits, and they end up sticking to everything. But the good thing is they stick to the glass jar. Right, so let's just adhere that. Like that. And which one shall I do? I shall do a thank you on this one, and I think I shall just put it there so that it just goes, the bottom of the Y goes over the ribbon. Now I want to put some of these dimensionals on. I think dimensionals are best because, as you can see, it's quite well embossed. Can you, oh come on, focus, 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 focus. Oh, right there. So I think if you try to use ordinary glue or double-sided tape, I don't think it would work quite so well. So put that one there. And is that one small enough? Yeah, put that way around. I want to get quite a few on here just to make sure that it does stick to the card. Oh. And of course, when you've finished all of these, you'll end up with the little bits around the edge, and I use those as well. I snip them up into little bits. Okay, so that one's a thank you. And again, I'll put those in my little pot. I don't have a bin in my craft room at the moment because I've had to lend it to the guests in the dining room, because the one that was in the dining room is still on the landing in case we have another leak, because the roofing chap has still not come back to finish the roof that they started over a year ago. But I sent him a message the other day telling him I'm fed up contacting him about it, and he's probably fed up hearing from me, so hopefully he'll come soon. Anyway, so that's the thank you on that one. I'll do you a landscape one, and again I'm going to have to do it here. I would like to have done it slightly further over, but I haven't got any other way of making a hole. So which ribbon shall I use for this one? Let's use this one. So again, I've got the ribbon. This one's more of an organza ribbon, so it's a little bit thinner. So pull it through from the front to the back. Right, not such a long end this time, and then do that. But I don't know why I cut so. I think I must have miscalculated when I was working out how much ribbon to put in. I think it's only 3 times the length that you're supposed to have, not 4. I'll try and get that bit through from the back to the front. Lovely. Right, so pull that one above and that one below. Yeah, far too much ribbon, Camelot. Far too much ribbon. Oh dear, sometimes you can make things a lot more complicated than they need be. But anyway, we'll get there, we'll get there. Right, giving that a good pull, giving that a good pull. Don't want it to buckle the paper. Okay, so this one, I am just going to tie a knot. Which, yes, I know that means I've wasted a lot of ribbon. Actually, that's not very good. It's me pokey tool. I might make a bow out of that after all. I think with it being organza, it does need a bow. I could probably have got away with that with the other ribbon because it's a bit thicker. It's that, is it grosgrain it's called? Yeah, but these are a bit thin, so maybe a bow would be better. So I will do a bow. So, come on. Oh, where's it gone? There it is. There we are. No, do it that way. And do it that way. Okie dokie. Right, so put some tape on this. Oops. Try not to do that. And so take this side. Okay. Oh, sorry for the quiet bits, but I'm struggling to get this bit of backing off. There we go. Yes, in. Okay, so just line that up and burnish it. Which one? I think I'll put the Thinking of You, and I'll put that so it's over the top of the ribbon. Yes, I think I will. Yeah, I'll do it over there. Right, but I will still put as many of these on as I can. Do it in shot. There we go. Right, I was going to do this video before lunch, but Kevin decided he was going to start drilling and sawing, and I thought, no. And then my stomach started rumbling, and I thought, okay, I'll have some lunch. So I did. He's starting to get things ready for when he can put his new, well, his model trains up in the loft. We've still got to get the new access to the loft sorted, because the original access was in the main bathroom at the back of the house, which is now a guest bathroom, and we had it moved when we first moved in, so that it's on the landing. Unfortunately, when the ladder's down, you can't access the 2 bedrooms that are right by it, which are the 2 bedrooms that I let out. So Kevin can't use that as the main access up to his trains when they get up there, because I wouldn't be able to have guests in, or you wouldn't be able to do it because I've got guests in. So we're getting a new one put in. We're going to keep that one though for emergencies and other stuff. It's easier to get into because it's quite big. It's quite a long one, and it's got a fold down wooden ladder that comes with it. But we're going to have one of those metal ones, and he's going to be able to get up into the loft, and he's going to be able to pull it up and close it behind him, so that he's not interfering with me and I'm not interfering with him. So yes, we still need to get that done, and then of course there's all the business of lining the roof and getting all the insulation sorted and flooring and all that sort of stuff. But hopefully that will be done by this time next year. He'll be able to play with his trains to his heart's content. So there we go. That's what I've done for you today. So I've done a thank you and a thinking of you. Obviously I've cut out all of them. And as I said before, you don't have to cut out all of them at once. You can just choose one of them and put the right size piece of card behind it. You can just emboss it so that it's literally just embossed, or you can emboss it with some ink. There are other things you can do as well. You could, if you have sponge daubers, or possibly even blending brushes, you could probably cover lightly over the top so the raised bit gets coloured. I've seen some videos on that, but you can't see it. Well, I'm not doing it with a colour. I've seen some videos doing that, but I'm sure that if I did it, I would just get colour everywhere, and it would be a waste of time. So I'm not bothering with that myself. So that's the cards I've made for you today, using the, where have I put it? Using the Thoughtful Moments dies with the Thoughtful Moments hybrid embossing folder. So I shall have another play with some of the other bits that I got, and I shall be putting an order in shortly, because the sale starts on the 9th of January? 9th of April, because the new catalogue is coming out at the beginning of May, so everything in the annual catalogue that's not carrying over into the new catalogue will be in the sale, and also everything that was in the mini catalogue January to April, a lot of that will be retiring as well, so that will be in the sale too. And there's 2 or 3 bits that I want to get that are reduced, even though they're going to be retired, and already quite a long list of new things. I think I might have to have a serious think and sell some of my older ones that maybe I haven't used for a while. Or some, I have to admit, I haven't even used at all, which is very naughty. Anyway, that's me for now. Oh, gosh. See, my thumb stuck to the tape on that. Right, so that's me for now, and I will see you very soon. Hwyl am y tro.